You remember this? Not clearly, not perfectly, but in flashes. The sound of a dial-up internet connection, waiting for a page to load, hoping no one picks up the phone, rewinding a cassette tape with a pencil, writing something down because you couldn't just search it. And then, somewhere along the way, everything changed. You didn't grow up fully offline, but you didn't grow up fully online either. You lived in between. That space is where Xennials exist. Not quite millennials, not quite Gen X, something in between. Usually born in the late 70s to early 80s, old enough to remember life before the internet, but young enough to adapt when it arrived. And that creates something very specific. Think about it. You had a childhood where you went outside without tracking. You made plans without texting. You got bored and had to deal with it. But then, as you grew older, the world shifted. Suddenly, everything became faster, louder, more connected, and you had to adjust. That's the key. Xennials didn't grow up with technology. They had to learn it, which means they understand both sides. They know what it's like to wait and what it's like to have everything instantly. They know what privacy felt like and what constant visibility feels like. And psychologically, that does something interesting. They tend to be more adaptable because they've already lived through a massive shift. They don't panic as easily when things change because change isn't new to them. But there's also something else. They often feel slightly out of place, too old school for younger generations, too modern for older ones, like they don't fully belong in either world. And that feeling comes from living in a transition. They remember when things were slower, simpler, less overwhelming. So sometimes, modern life feels like too much. But at the same time, they can't go back because they've already adapted. That creates a strange balance. They value independence, real connection, offline moments. But they also understand technology, speed, change. They're not stuck in the past, but they're not completely consumed by the present either. And maybe that's why they see things differently. They know not everything needs to be instant. Not everything needs to be shared. Not everything needs to be online, because they've lived without it. And that experience is something newer generations never had. So if you ever feel like you don't fully fit into one generation, like you understand both sides, like you remember a world that feels almost forgotten, you might not be confused. You might just be in between. And if this made you feel something or reminded you of something you forgot, consider subscribing. Because sometimes understanding where you stand helps you understand who you are.